Hey, there we go. My mouse finally clicked. Welcome back to another Monday here at Proficiency Bonus, where technology hates us. My name's Matthew, your somewhat insane person for this evening. And thank you again for hanging out with us. Before we get too far into it, a couple of quick shout-outs. Thank you to our friends over at Twitch, Team MZ, Streamlabs, Many Side Dice, and our favorite neighbors up north, Little Dragon Corp. If you haven't checked them out yet, you can type in !Little Dragon in the chat. It'll bring you a link to their site. You can use the discount code PROBONUS to get 10% off your order. You get all sorts of manner of cool things. I've been flashing these around. Get these cool little dice holders. They light up. You can get these shiny dice that I get sitting on top of it. And I keep moving it because my camera looks weird on my own screen, but it looks fine here. So definitely check them out if you haven't already. For those who don't remember last time, we actually had a couple of things. We've had a couple of things going on with some of our players. So as you're aware, I am working on a new overlay as Bitterjack has vanished. And we wish Matt the best. Hope he's back quickly. Artemis is not feeling well today. So we're going to be running a little late, but with what happened last time, it sort of fits in with how the story is going. So for those who weren't here last time, present company may be included, Jack and Lydia. First thing in the morning, Jack had business to take care of back at the guild hall. Had to go see a woman about a firearm. Well, the two of them went off to deal with their business, then disappeared for hours. During this time, the rest of our party, William had wandered off on his own once again, and that left Furia, Snowmoon, and Artemis just basically held up in the crew quarters on the ship. As they spent their morning, they started hearing knocking on the outside of the boat. It was decided that Furia take a little time to go first swim as a fish and see what was happening. Furia learned that there was a group of individuals, looked to be about they weren't halfling, gnome, or dwarf size, so that some sort of either human, elf, some sort of large humanoid, very well wrapped up and protected, swimming around underneath numerous vessels. Eventually, as Furia is doing her research, learned that on one of the ships, they were actually drilling holes in and were proceeding to shove things within the hole. Furia came back, filled in the party members who were there, and it was decided to go over and have a conversation with the ship's captain after they had had a brief conversation with Father Abel. And found that the ship in question was one that Seckless was set to be setting sail on. They went over, had a discussion with the captain, a gentleman by the name of Dunbar Mastermate? Can't remember his last name. I don't
think we got a last
name.
Yeah,
I don't think we got his last name.
So, captain's name was Dunbar, and basically he claims to be a magic user, but looks built like a person who watches Roadhouse all the time. Big, burly, barrel-chested bouncer. Furia, Snowmoon, and Art all noticed that they were speaking a strange dialect. He claims to be from a place called Northern Urgoth. None of you had heard the name, but eventually Seckless shows up. There was some conversations had. You found Seckless had agreed to try to help this person find his way home. Eventually the party made their way back over to your own boat, and then a portal opened where a small black-haired gnome proceeded to dump Lydia's unconscious body in front of Art. With the warning that Jack was meddling with something she was not meant to be doing yet, and that she had been taken. And we're actually going to pick up tonight's episode with... Actually, sorry, I just hit a wrong button and threw you all into a random Twitch screen, black browser screen. So, we're going to actually jump headfirst into last week as Lydia and Jack have arrived at the guild hall. And Lydia, you can see as Jack goes, charging in, again, very, not really cautiously, so to speak, but excitedly, almost exuberant, while still watching to make sure that you guys aren't being followed by the guards, given everything that went through. You both have been very careful getting here. I rolled for both of you last week, so nobody saw you guys. Eventually, you come in and you find the guild hall is almost barren. There doesn't seem to be anyone in there. The young woman who Jack had been working with on the firearm is slumped, still breathing, but leaning on a table. You can see this long, what looks to be... you've seen Jack's guns before. This looks to be a very long-barreled, similar handle portion to it. Again, for our viewers at home, this is basically a long rifle, almost a sniper rifle that this woman was designing for him. And as you're watching, Lydia, you start to feel almost drowsy. And I apologize, I pulled all this last time when you weren't here, unfortunately, as you see this small gnome come walking out of a shimmering gray portal. Black hair standing vertical. Looks to be some small skull resting in the hair. As he looks towards the two of you. My queen didn't say you could do that yet. And with a wave, you watch as Jack's body goes rigid and just collapses backwards. And as this small gnome starts to walk towards Jack, looks over at you and says, "You're not a part of this. We'll bring you home." And just waves your hand as you lose consciousness. We are now back on the ship. Almost a day later. It's been better part of like 4 or 6 hours at this point. As Art is now screaming for Fury and Snowmoon to get over here. Lydia's here. Lydia's here. Come here. Fury, Snowmoon, help.
I'll run over.
Yeah, rush it over.
So, laying in front of you is your friend Lydia. You can see laying beside her is the staff that you guys had collected from the glade. And on her chest is a small piece of what looks to be rolled up parchment. A little bit of a wax seal on it. Furia, go ahead and make a nature check, as it looks to be a paw print within the seal, and then a black feather sticking out of it. And I really hope Lydia is muted and not having microphone issues.
That is a 12.
Oh, okay.
Can you?
Yep, I got you now.
Okay, good. Sorry.
Nope, just want to make sure we weren't having more technical issues today. So, as you're looking at it, you're being from the woodlands, you're fairly familiar with most small woodland creatures. As you're looking at it, it looks like a very malnourished, you'd almost say skeletal squirrel paw print on it. And the black feather looks to be a common crow.
Yeah, I would go and I would pick up the scroll and the staff and motion Snow and can you manage Lydia?
Yeah, I should be able to, and I'll try to rest her on one shoulder, kind of, and hold her up.
Yeah, you can move her. I mean, Lydia's a big creature, but you're pretty big yourself, so it takes you a little bit of work, but you manage to sort of get her up.
I guess
I'll be going back down below.
Yes, I'll take her back down below deck, and I'll start.
Yeah, easy enough to bring her back down below deck. As the captain starts coming over as well, and so, what happened?
She just dropped on the deck. There was a portal. Some gnome with black hair just dropped her on the deck unconscious. But we just need to let's just put her down in her sleeping quarters for now.
Okay, so easy enough. You set her down, and Lydia, do me a favor. Go ahead and make a this is a wisdom saving throw.
A 27.
Oh,
no, that's just 26. 26, sorry, I can't add. 26 tonight.
Oh, okay. So, and actually, before you get into that, let me just remind everybody. So last week we had some trouble coming up with who was going to get the nat 20 given everything that happened. So the group has a communal nat 20 between Snowmoon and Furia. Where you haven't been here, Lydia, you actually still have yours as well.
Okay, thank you.
So basically there's one guaranteed for Lydia, and then we've got the other communal one that either Snowmoon or Fury can use as needed. So, as Snowmoon, as you start getting Lydia down, you actually start to feel Lydia, you start coming to. And you can see Snowmoon is in the process of just sort of lowering you down into your bed.
Where's the gnome?
Oh, Lydia, you're awake.
No, not really.
Are you okay?
I think. Gnome. Go get the gnome.
We saw him briefly, but I think he just closed the portal as soon as he dropped you, and that was Art. He said something. I think Art caught it, but
yeah, Art will sort of come scurrying over. He said that Jack had done something she wasn't supposed to, and that you just sort of got stuck in the middle. So he dropped you here, and Art holds up the staff. He left this too.
Oh dear. Oh, my mic stopped picking me up for some reason when I turn a certain way.
Weird.
Okay.
Well, that's good because it's not catching the dogs. Jack! What? I wonder where Jack went. Have you seen?
No, last we saw Jack was when she left with you this morning.
Oh, gods. I will bolt up and run back upstairs, even though I probably shouldn't. Ill advised.
You're a little, I wouldn't say woozy on your feet.
Okay.
It feels like you just woke up from a regular night's sleep. So you've got that sort of oh, my legs are a little stiff. I shouldn't be running this quick, but whatever. Yeah, so as you're charging upstairs,
Yep.
Fury, anything you'd be doing? Are you still upstairs with that scroll, or did you follow?
I would have walked down and
okay.
Looked at the seal and then opened it and checked it out.
Oh, okay. So in common, there's and Lydia, as you start running up, you can see Fury starting to sort of unscroll this.
Mm-hmm.
In common Fury, what you see is just a quick note. We have taken Jack for some re-education. She was delving into things that someone as young as her is not meant to yet. My queen has requested an audience. Should everything go well, she will be returned to you. Do not look for her. It is not wise. And then a small note you see in her service. Moby.
So I'll finish reading that, and I'll be like, well, Jack went and did something she wasn't, and somebody got very upset.
Did you read the note to us?
I did not read it aloud. I'll hold it.
Okay. I wasn't sure. Okay,
And who's Moby?
And I guess at this point I had turned and ran after Lydia back on
Okay.
deck.
So as you go running past it, the captain had just started coming downstairs, seeing you get sort of carried down. You going back? Wait, no, what? Did see it snowboard run past you. Somebody tell me what the hell is going on.
If she comes downstairs, I'll explain, but I don't know.
At this point, she's now going upstairs following, because Lydia's been with her longer than anyone else, so she's falling behind Lydia and Snow Moon now. Ali, as you run up top, it looks to be early afternoon. Probably like 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon, just a couple of hours after lunchtime. You can see some of the crew members on the ship. It looks like a comfortable afternoon.
I'll look up at the sky. I'll be like, "You give her back," and I don't know. Can't cast anything, so I would just scream at the sky and shake my fist angrily.
Oh, okay.
Down below, I would like to take the staff and see if I could shove it in the bag of holding.
A little work, trying to get it in, but you managed to get it in there without a problem.
Alright.
It's as you're shaking your hand up and shouting. As you start calling up, you watch from the crow's nest 2 or 3 black birds flutter off and fly towards the city.
Are they native to this island, these blackbirds, or not so much? This is more of a tropical climate. Yes.
It's more tropical, but go ahead and make a nature check.
Great, grand. Ooh, that'll be a 5.
You've only really been out of the city once, and you went into the forest. You don't remember seeing any, but there were those dragon man things in the forest. There's been a lot going on. You really have been looking at birds.
Who knows? Birds. Get out of the crow's nest, you crows!
And did I saw the feather on the scroll, right? Even though Furia picked it up?
Yeah, well, yeah, you were right there as this was all
Okay,
happening,
yeah.
so I would assume you would have seen it.
Okay. I guess those crows maybe left that letter, or was it with you the whole time?
Jack, and all of a sudden there was this black-haired gnome fellow that came out of a portal, and he told me that Jack was interfering, and I'm not sure what happened after that. It gets a little fuzzy. It just woke up here. Kind of mysterious. Don't like it.
Art, who is still sort of halfway down the stairs, and poke their head up. I could see if maybe we can purchase some books on portals. See if I can find anything. Not really sure
I
I want
was
to go into the
thinking-
city, though.
This is true.
Maybe Melee Bailey has a book that could help with that.
Immediately the eyes sort of go down, like...
Yeah, I'm a little, Why don't you do that, Snow Moon?
Me?
I'm sure she'll take a shine to you.
Well, with her hair not pink at the moment.
Just sort of brushes the hair and little clumps of grease.
Well, what should we do? Should we go back to the gunsmith to try and find clues about what happened to Jack, or what?
At this point, the
We
captain's
know
not come
what
up with...
happened to Jack.
I mean, any clues of where to go next, or to try and find Jack?
You hear behind you the captain. You did instruct me to have all the crew return so we could depart tomorrow morning.
Well, we're just gonna.
So whatever you are doing, you have the remainder of today to figure it out.
I doubt Jack is here.
Me too.
You're
I
right.
think he was taken by extraplanar entity.
Lydia, I don't know what those are.
I think about, I read them in a book somewhere.
Bart frantically starts looking at... Have you been reading my books?
No, one.
If that's what took Jack, if that's what took Jack, I may be able to find something in one of the books I purchased. I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to start reading.
Good.
Here.
Good thinking.
Disappears down the stairs.
Right, Joe.
I suppose then we have to decide. We have 2 other locations that you had mentioned to me before. Amaroon and Dragon's Home. If we are still looking for those pieces for whatever it is.
Sorry, where are we?
So currently you are way down here.
Oh, okay.
And basically if you start just scrolling yourself straight north.
And then Dragon's Home. Okay.
Amaroon is the closest. That's just off the northeast shore of Alaron.
Mhm.
And then further past that is Dragon's Home. That's over in the Corin Archipelago. Those are the 2 other areas that you were made aware that there were pieces to this portal.
I heard nice time of year. Maybe we should pay it a visit.
You got in and out.
The first word
Sorry.
was cut out.
Oh, I just said I heard that Amaroon is nice this time of year. Maybe we should check it out.
Yeah. And I think it's closer if I remember looking at the map, so might as well head there first.
Yes, it is a little bit closer. It's still a decent journey from here. I mean, let's see. That's a good. I suppose probably a good 2 or 3 days sailing, assuming the weather is with us the entire time.
Gotcha.
So, is there anything
Works for
left
me.
for you to do on the island, or?
What did Sekla say when you said just goodbye, or the data character? Because I don't know.
Oh, so Seklis advised Seklis told the group that he had agreed to try to help this Dunbar mastermate, the captain of
Dunbar.
this vessel,
Okay.
get
yeah.
home.
Okay.
And they
And-
hinted very heavily that they were not from here,
Okay.
in the broader sense of things.
Oh, here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the dialects that he was talking were something that no one who was there was recognizing. The places they were claiming to be from, he mentioned sailing through the Blood Sea and getting stuck in the Maelstrom. And just mentioning things like you would expect to hear, like, oh, yeah, I was sailing up by Waterdeep. He's saying these things like he expects you to understand what they mean.
Okay.
And everyone was just sort of like, yeah, about that. But the three did manage to warn him of the problems that they had caused on the ship before heading back over and basically finding you getting deposited. So there was a comment made by Seckless's, I think it was Art. I can't remember who asked if they'd ever run into Seckless again. Seckless was like, hey, you never know.
That was me.
Okay. Oh, hey, you never know. Stranger things have happened. So. So Captain's looking around, huh? So you've got a little bit of time left. If not, we can just turn in. Everyone knows we're leaving with the tides in the morrow, so.
Are we still wanted in the city? We're killing the viceroy.
Yes, I think.
At this, the captain sort of cocks her head and looks at the other
They
two.
probably didn't kill her.
I know, killing big giant air marks. Killing the viceroy, which we certainly didn't, but we might have caused a little arson, not us, but this guy we were with. The point
Lydia,
is,
stop talking while you're ahead.
problem of my life.
So you are the reason that all those guards were all over the docks yesterday.
Yes, they were.
Luckily for you, they do not seem to be as interested in the docks today. Not sure how well, if they are still looking for you. I mean, Furia could certainly wander around, but Lydia and Snowmoon, I mean no offense, you two do sort of stick out some. Although Snowmoon wearing my mother's robes seemed to pass well enough.
Yes, it did. Still not understanding the joke.
Yeah, Fury is grinning at this point at the joke.
And you're welcome to them again if you have things to take care of in the city, but
I think it's best we just stay on the boat for now until we leave.
I agree.
okay. So, anything else the group you would be doing before eventually settling in? And eventually you guys, the rest of the afternoon passes, you start seeing more of the crew coming back. You see Art is riveted in their bunk, barely coming out to eat it, even when coming out, flipping through a couple of the books. You see looking into one, and every once in a while taking one of the other books and looking through it. Puts that book back away in this little pouch right beside them. Goes back to the other books. And some of the books you're seeing are just sort of getting left in the bunk. But there's one book that Art's keeping real close to them at all times, which you guys have noticed from one of the more, I guess I'll say, important books that Art had purchased for those who have roomed with Art. So eventually sleep claims you. The next morning you awake to the soft sounds of water against the side of the ship, as it seems that you guys have got an early departure. As you guys are now leaving Kyer Westfall and sort of sailing south around that point to head up towards Amaroon. actually have this set up right? Won't that be a nice surprise if I actually set this properly right from the beginning? Really? Click and stay clicked, you Goran bit. Hey, yeah, that's actually pretty accurate. Okay. I'm pretty happy with that. So we go. Give me a second. 30. I'll call it 100 to the middle of the H. Another 100 in between there. So, like 3 dead. So yeah, it's going to be about. Yeah, so about just over 4 days sailing for you guys to reach Amaroon. So let's see here. Oh, okay. So anything any of you would be doing during the travels there?
Can I tell for sure what kind of feather that was? I'm assuming I hung on to it.
Sure, go ahead and make a nature check.
Oh, a 12 again. Look at that.
Oh, okay. Let's see here. Oh, okay. So, as you're looking at it, it's... You know it's definitely either a raven or a crow. Or one of the, basically, these sort of black carrion birds. So there are a few similar. They look very similar, but with that, you're really not sure much beyond one of the two of them.
Okay, so like you're saying like a vulture or something like that with the darker...
No, even small.
Or-
So think, I'm trying to think of what else might be included within that. So think things like crows, ravens, rooks, jackdaw. What else is in that family? I think magpie. That whole I used to know the classification for them, but
Okay.
yeah, they're all in that
Not
sort of
generally
like carrion.
songbirds.
No, definitely not. I mean, they all have their own different sounds and whatnot, but they're not. None of them are really native to where you are from. Like you've seen them sort of flying around, but it's not like you. Ooh, look, it's a nest of these, and you could recognize them from their sounds right away.
Right.
So, anything else anyone would be doing?
Yeah, just like for a few hours each day, Snowman will be like practicing his sword stroke again, like repeatedly, which is like pretty common sighting at
okay.
this point.
So, as you guys are going through your different rituals throughout the days, the first and second day go by, no issues whatsoever. The weather's beautiful. The wind seems to be fairly steady. It's just pleasant. It's nice for Lydia, especially for you being from sailing with this, with your captain for so long. It's just nice to be back out on the water and in nice, smooth sailing. You do notice that Art has very rarely left their bunk. Get is focused on whatever they can find on these extraplanar entities, this portal, this strange gnome. Any references to something called a queen. Just trying to see anything that they can do to find out anything on Jack. William, on the other hand, hasn't left the crow's nest. William's not really responding to people at the moment, just As people call up and try to get William's attention, it's just you get a random hand waved, you know. People who try to come up typically get pushed back or a cigarette flipped at them. Seems like William's in a bit of a mood at the moment. But on the third day, as a lot of you go and turn in for the night, go ahead and everyone, I want you to go ahead and make perception checks for me.
So perceptive.
What'd you roll?
Ugh.
Oh, like total?
Yeah.
27.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't hear if you said a number first. I was like, I just heard so perceptive, and I'm like,
Oh, nat 20.
oh. I was like, so they mean she rolled really well or she rolled a 1, and I don't know which it is.
Yeah, no, not 20. Sorry.
I got a nice 22.
I rolled a solid 8.
Okay,
There we go.
so Fury and Lydia, you both awake before the sun. One hearing Snow Moon sort of, but more importantly than that, you can hear shouting coming from up top. Pull in the sails! And various calls, and you can tell it's the captain calling out. And after a couple of seconds, you can feel as the boat starts to sway to the left and right a little bit. Lydia, you have been sailing for a while, so you would recognize. You guys are sailing into some pretty nasty weather if you're not already in the middle of it. So it's probably, you still got your full evening's rest, given they're just sort of, yesterday was more like a pleasure cruise, but it seems like something happened during the early evening or late night after you guys came downstairs that either a storm was moving too quick and they couldn't get around it, or somebody really wasn't doing their job. So you can hear them shouting.
Someone in the crow's nest not doing their job, or just in general?
Just a general statement.
Okay.
Sorry, it's
Alright.
not at all insinuating William on that one. Just
Okay.
you don't know whether or not it's somebody wasn't watching, or even if someone watched, it could have been something swinging by too quick and like, hey, yeah, we're pretty quick, but the wind's not in the right spot. We can't swing fast enough to get out of the way. You're looking
Go
away
on
from
deck
the...
and see if I can lend a hand.
Oh, okay. Fury, what are you doing?
I'm confused about what's going on and why people are shouting, but obviously something is not right. So I would just take after Lydia and go upstairs as well.
Okay. So as two of you head upstairs, and right as you hit those stairs at the bottom of the, I guess I'll say the rear end of the ship, to go past the captain's quarters and head up, as soon as you turn that corner, you can see there's water almost pouring down the stairs towards you coming from the deck.
Turn to Furia and cast Water Walk on both of us.
I didn't need that.
Tough luck,
Maybe I should
man!
wake up
You're with me!
I'm gonna turn around and wake up Snowmoon.
Okay. Then I will cast on Snow Moon as well. And Art. I'll cast on them too.
Oh, okay.
I'll just go around, like, bopping people in the head.
I wake up and I'm like instantly,
I bop you in the head.
what?
So as Art sort of looks over and just, like rolls in the bed and just like, But eventually, as you guys make your way up onto the deck, and Lydia, as you go charging up the stairs after casting Water Walk on all of you, you start to feel a little silly as it looks like you're just in a really bad rainstorm. And it's just like heavy downpours right now. As you're looking out, you don't think you can see to the end of the ship, barely. And that's because people have torches lit and they've got coverings over the torches. Even the torches really aren't giving a whole lot of light given how much rain is coming down right now. You can see right now the captain's on the wheel. But as you're watching, you can see there are just waves coming from a northeast direction. And Lydia, you've been sailing for a while. These aren't really bad waves, but they're not exactly normal for this area either. And you are looking away from that spot on your microphone.
Something that I can cast Gust of Wind to negate, or is it too big for that?
Go ahead and make a wisdom check for me. You guys are, this is on the third day, so you are, oh my word, I need a new mouse.
D20.
Okay, so give me just a second here. Just want to put a mark where you guys are, give or take 60. Okay, so you're like, okay, so you guys are somewhere roughly in this area. Okay, and the waves are coming down sort of like this. And with that wisdom check, you would know that I'm gonna break my mouse. That the causes for these waves aren't with the height of them, it's not something that is coming from the surface. This is something's going on underwater that's causing this displacement, that's pushing the water up. The storm's not really helping anything. And the little bit of wind coming from the northeast is sort of helping them build. But whatever the underlying cause is, there's something bigger to cause waves this size in this area at this time of year.
Okay. Alright, I'll go up to the captain and see if she's seen anything.
So, down to that, not much in this. It was, well, probably, I guess, 8, 9 o'clock, I think, somewhere about that. Shortly after you all went down, we started getting calls that there was a storm rolling in. Didn't think much of it, didn't really look like much. No, you've seen it before in here, just slight wall of light gray. It looked like just a regular rainstorm. As we approached into it, though, it just became much worse. So now we're just holding on, and you can hear the captain's talking. She's very sort of forcing her voice out. She's not trying to shout, but she's having to like push harder to make sure that you can hear her over the wind and the rain.
Alright, I'll grab some rigging and I'll try to help the crew out if they need it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's there. You're watching as they're trying to basically get the sails basically to half mast so that they can still have the wind to sort of maintain their course and make sure that they can still steer, but to not have the full sails being battered by the wind.
Gotcha.
Furia and Snowmoon, anything that either of you would be doing?
I mean, I guess I see Lydia like trying to help with the rigging, so I'll just try and grab hold too and do what I can.
Help, I'm a sailor. I'm helping.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I would be listening to the conversation and seeing if I could help, but probably not, as I am not a sailor and not strong. But I am thankful that my feet are not getting wet from the bottom, just from the top. But I'm waiting to see if there's something I could do to spring into action. But
Yes. And I'll turn to Lydia and say, "Is something like wrong, Lydia? It seems like you and the captain were concerned."
I think, grab that rope over there. Move it around.
All right.
So you've got a couple of people that are showing you like where to tie these things off to make sure the sails are in the best position.
Yeah, I guess so. I'll do to the best of my ability. I'll try to do that.
Okay, go ahead. I'll say Lydia and Furia. Go ahead and make. What sort of check would this be for you two? I'll say either a nature or survival check. As Furia, you're the natural end of things, and Furia, you've been sailing for a while.
Teen.
What teen?
8. 8
Okay.
teen.
No, I can't hear.
23.
Oh. I was supposed to say, oh my god, now I can't hear.
I'm adding with my fingers.
Okay. So both of you start to realize that this does not appear to be a natural storm. And what is all of your passive perceptions?
16.
17.
12.
Oh, okay. Let me just see here. Okay. I gotta check a. Okay. That's actually everyone except for Snowmoon unfortunately catches this. As you're watching as this storm is approaching, and again you guys are sort of situated, you can see it looks to be like there are shark fins in the water.
Dear.
Off the eastern side.
I'll point at it, and then I'll say, I wonder if our buddy has come back to visit us. Or his friends.
Maybe we'll be lucky and it'll be Hara.
I doubt he would be with his friends. If what he said is true.
Okay, anything else group is doing?
Well, should we dive in? Or wait to see if we can sail out of it? Because I don't know if we will, if it's not natural.
You hear the captain call from the back. Only thing we can do is go through. With the waves like this, if we turn too much, we could end up going over.
I do have water breathing.
All right.
Are you saying that to the captain?
I'm saying it to everybody around.
The captain looks over at you. Can you cast it on all 75 or 80 of us?
Unfortunately, only 10.
As that, and you watch as all of a sudden she starts spinning the wheel clockwise, and you watch as the boat slowly starts to turn a little bit towards the northeast, and then kicks up to the front as it crests over another wave and slams back down.
Well, anybody want to come say hi to the sharks? No?
I will, but
I mean, swimming near the dock is one thing, but this is a whole different matter.
free diving. It's fine. All right. Don't mind the water, only the sharks. All right, let's go.
Okay, so you're jumping in?
Wait, hold on. I haven't cast it yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, anybody that wants to dive in, I will cast water breathing on. And I'm going to turn into a reef shark and jump overboard myself.
Okay.
If anybody wants to grab onto my tail or something to pull them along, that might work.
What size creature are you?
Probably medium?
Give me a second. Save. You
Yeah,
should now
medium.
have access to... Oh, you must already have one. Okay, so I just threw a reef shark thing onto Roll20. If you need the character sheet, you should be able to see it now.
Water breathing is not concentration and lasts for 24 hours.
Okay.
Just so you all know.
So you have water breathing. You're watching Feria jump over. Lydia Snowman, you two jumping in?
Yes. If
Okay,
you're
how you jumping in?
jumping
Well,
cannon,
Oh, okay. Snowman, what about you?
he'll just kind of very ungracefully just leap over the side.
Oh, okay. So, let me check one thing here. Let me check something here. Okay. So as you're jumping down, are you intending to land or swim? Because you can currently walk on water.
Ooh.
Because you have water walking
The
cast
nose-
on you.
land on the nose of a shark.
Am I gonna is it like I'm jumping onto a floor or something? Basically.
It can. It basically, if you've ever watched Naruto, it's basically that's the same. Okay, it's a non-Newtonian fluid for you.
Okay.
If you want it to be solid, it will be solid. If you want it to be water, it'll be water. Because the spell specifically says you can treat the liquid as if it was solid. So it doesn't say you have to, or else you'd just be going.
As
No,
a
it's free-
shark, I would like it to be water, please.
Yeah, well, it's as Furia jumps, and that's why I had to check him going. Oh bollocks!
How tall is the hull of the ship?
As from where you're jumping, it's probably about maybe 10, 15 feet down. I mean, if you wait and time it right, you might be able to catch it on a wave. But if you miss the wave, because of how the bow of the ship will ride up, you could be falling, 30 feet at that point. You'd have to stick your landing at that point.
Yeah, I guess it's safest to treat it as water.
Okay.
Fall into that.
And Lydia, you're doing the same, just diving right into the water? But you said you...
Water. But can I aim for a shark's nose? Because I hear they're very sensitive if you land on them.
Sure. So we will say go ahead and make we'll call this an athletics check.
Athletics. Ooh, not great in that, but not terrible. 14.
Okay. And that is enough. So go ahead and... So let's see. You are both going to take a little bit of damage on this as you're jumping about 15 feet to land on this thing. So
Sure.
let's see here. We'll call it 1d6. So why don't you go ahead and roll a d6 for me?
Lucky D6. 5.
Okay. So you and this shark-like creature you just landed on take 5 points of bludgeoning damage. And with that, I need you both, well, actually all three of you, to roll initiative for me. As you now see, why are all my tokens all giant sharks? Oh, come on. And pull this out. Okay. And don't forget to add yourself to the initiative order before you, before after your real roll. We're just going to use Oh my word. I guess who's getting a mouse job done tomorrow? Because this is really starting to drive me insane. Okay, so gelatinous cube sheet. You are convenient to put these people. Jesus!
Wow.
Oh, -4 to dex for the gelatinous cube, that's why. Good. Yes, now I can actually go through and roll these. Okay, you know what, let's stick with Old Dragon. Alrighty then. You and we have okay, and so can you drag a token on the
Yeah. How do you?
just click
Drag,
basically click and drag on your name on your character sheet on the right,
Okay.
and then just drag it on, drop it anywhere on the map.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Okay. And then is a 14 what you rolled?
That's what I actually rolled. Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
changed it already.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, so everybody is in there. Now, all of you have noticed as you've dove in and sort of, I guess I'll say, Lydia ends up setting this off as she lands on this massive shark's nose. And you all notice that coming up behind you, or rather beside you, is Furia. The other sharks that fins you were seeing swimming with this one all appear to be reef sharks. There's only this one large, what looks to be similar to a great white out in front. You also notice a shadow. Probably a good 150 or 200 feet back. And as we begin...
In the water or on the water? The shadow?
In.
Okay.
And you notice these creatures seem to be running, or rather swimming, away from something.
The sharks were a decoy.
As you continue, as we start with this creature whose nose you literally just landed on, he is going to continue to swim past you, but given you just jumped onto his face, what sort of shark wouldn't enjoy having a snack to bring along with it? So it is going to take a bite at you. I don't think that's going to do it. That's a 14. Okay. So it is going to, after taking that bite, it is going to continue swimming along. So you are free to take a shot, an attack at it if you'd like to.
But 13 plus 5, 18 to hit.
Okay, so that'll hit.
1d8. That's not a d8. Where's my d8 at? There we go. 6 plus 2, so 8 damage.
Okay. It's continuing along its way. That'll end its turn as it is now. Let's see, what is its speed? It is now 50 feet away from you.
fine.
And that will bring us over to the reef sharks. Who there are 5 of them, so we're going to see what they're going to do. And if you know, we're going to... Okay, so that's... Okay. Okay, so we have 2 going that way. We're just going to make sure that they're not smart enough not to. So, okay, as they're coming by, there's going to be 2 attacks at Furia, 1 at Lydia, and 2 at Snow Moon. As these things are basically doing the same thing and are basically running through, but hey, if we can grab a snack on the way, we're going to take our chance here.
Gosh darn, they would attack another shark?
That's it. Y'all don't know what's behind
Shark
them
eat
yet.
Shark eat shark world out there.
Okay, so I'll do the 2 at Furia first.
Great
That
white
is-
sharks can be cannibals. I just learned this.
Hmm.
Like today or yesterday.
Okay, I don't think... Well, actually, one of them might have a shot.
AC
Oh, yeah,
is
so...
12
Yeah, one's going to
for
hit you.
sure.
It rolled a 12 on the die.
Okay.
So one is going to hit you, and that is horrible on the die roll. That is 3 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Then we have 1 coming at Lydia. There's a nat 1. And then 2 coming at Snow Moon. Okay, 1 is a 4 on the die. That's not going to hit. And I think the other one will. That's a 19.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay, so that's okay, a little better on the die. That's 4 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And they are continuing along, continuing to swim past you both. So both Fury and Snow Moon, you can make an attack of opportunity at one of them should you choose to.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I just got bit, so I'm gonna bite back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll swipe at the one that bit me. So that's a 24 to hit.
Oh yeah, that'll hit.
I rolled a 13 to hit.
Okay, that'll hit as well.
Oh,
It's a reef shark. It's got AC of 12.
That's 11 points of slashing damage.
Ooh.
that's 4 for me.
Okay.
Piercing damage.
Okay. And they continue on moving past. And actually, let me just check and see here. Where are we? Where is my cheat sheet? Where is the... I'll make sure I got this into on the right initiative. Okay. So I'm just going to add... It's close enough that you guys can actually see it. Okay, so that brings us to Snow Moon. As
Alright.
the larger of the group of sharks is about 50 feet away from you, the other group are about 40 feet.
I guess.
As you are noticing them going by, you're also watching as the ship is continuing. So the ship is moving as well within the storm.
Okay. So at this point, can I choose to treat the water like a solid again and walk on it?
Yeah, basically at this point you're probably about 5 or 10 feet down. So I'd say you'd have to use, it's difficult terrain, so you'd have to swim up to the surface. So they would basically like swimming up on the side of a pool and climbing out.
Okay. Alright, yeah, so I'll use...
So we'll say you use 10 feet of movement. We'll say you're 5 feet down because you can see their fins. So you're
Okay.
right at the surface.
Alright, so I'll do
So
that.
10
and
feet of
I
movement,
will-
now you're standing on the surface of the water.
So I guess I'll use my remaining 20 feet to just head towards the Great White.
Oh,
And
okay.
I can't reach. I can't
No,
go any
because he's
further.
50 feet away, so even with that, you'd be
Yeah.
30 feet. If you wanted to, you could dash.
I'll stay here.
Oh, okay.
Just end my turn there.
Okay, so that's going to bring us to the shadow in the background that's currently about 200 feet away. Okay. Just checking its movement. Okay, yeah, so you can see it is swimming closer. And it is just, basically it's just a large sort of dark blob moving like this in the water. It's getting closer, but it still looks to be a pretty good distance away. That'll bring us to Furia.
Well, seeing as those sharks are running away from it, I want to check this out. But I don't want to get eaten at the same time. So I'm just going to stick close to the other people in my group for the moment.
Okay.
And if someone's run backwards a little bit, I'll swim in that direction. I have 40 feet of movement, so I'll get to around his area.
Yeah, so
pretty
he's basically about 20 feet back from you, but he's up walking on the water right now. Okay, and as you're
But
looking,
I'm definitely keeping an eye on that thing.
yeah, as you're looking, this shadow is huge.
Now, I've seen some pretty huge things in my time. How huge? Like a large turtle size, or like large island turtle size?
Not island turtle size. It's probably actually, let me take a look here. Let me see what those jumbo turtles were.
I have somewhat of a frame of reference on huge.
Yeah, that's a
Could be a
good
whale.
point
They're all
here.
trying to get over them. I don't know.
Okay. So, actually, it's probably a little smaller than that one. Okay. So, if you remember, for player knowledge, you remember the dragon turtle, Kavos?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little smaller than Kavos was.
Oh.
Dang. Okay.
So it's still a massive creature, but it's not.
Still
So it's
something
nowhere
that
near
could probably
island
swallow
size.
me whole.
It's yeah, you're not sure if it could take a reef shark whole. I mean, it might be able to, but it's. I'm probably gonna take a bite or two. You think maybe? It's hard to say because right now, all you can see is this slowly sort of undulating shadow. Just okay. So you're hanging there. So that brings us over to Lydia.
How far away is this thing from us again?
Hard to say. It was at least a couple of 100 feet. You know it's moving
Okay.
closer, but it still looks like it's pretty good ways away.
Tread water or whatever I do, and I'm going to hold an action in case it gets in range and looks malicious, you know.
Oh, okay.
If it doesn't look malicious, like a giant humpback whale, I'm not going to shoot at it. But if it does, like angry, like monster thing, then I'm going to shoot at it. Well, use a spell against it.
Okay. So you're literally just God damn! Stop opening in a separate window, you stupid son of a. There we go. I have to yell at my thing repeatedly. Okay, so. And you're just treading right where you are. You're not moving to stay close to the ship or to the rest of your party?
Yeah, I'm going to stay within the ship and my party, so I don't know where that would be actually.
So, well,
We
the
move
ship is moving away, so
back a
is
little.
the party's moved back a little. So basically, you guys have moved back about 20 feet. The ship has probably moved about 40 to 50 feet north from you. Because it's moving at a much faster rate.
Okay. I'm gonna swim No, I'm gonna stay put. I'm just gonna stay put and hold my action.
Oh, okay. So then that'll bring us back over to the sharks who are all out of reach. They're just going to keep swimming. So no one around to bite. No food to bring with them at this point. So they're both dashing. The great shark is now 100 feet, 120 feet away from you, Snow Moon. The reef sharks are now 100 feet away. And that brings us to you.
And they're moving away.
Yeah,
From the giant thing in the water.
Yeah.
which Snow Moon really hasn't seen.
Yeah.
Oh.
He climbed out and he's now looking at these. So I'll say, go ahead and make a perception check, Snow Moon, as you're sort of looking around, as you're watching. I mean, you fought creatures similar to this before in the when you were in the giant turtle,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not usual for them to sort of, leave food behind.
Yeah. All right. So that's a 16.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Unfortunately,
here.
I'm a shark. I can't say anything.
Saw it.
Okay. So let's see. This thing really isn't. But let's see. Okay, so as you're sort of looking and watching them basically full sprint at this point, and you sort of turn and look, you can see what looks to be a rather almost bumpy green shell moving, again, just skating the surface of the water at what looks to be a fairly high speed.
Okay. Yeah, he'll just kind of stagger back, and I guess I'll run back closer to Lydia and Furia, and it looks like there's another giant turtle headed our way. And just kind of have my hand on the hilt of my blade. But
Okay. So it's just, let's go again. So it's going to dash again, trying to catch up to its meal. So it is now. Okay, so it's at this point just over about 100 feet from the group of you. Lydia, as you're looking,
Towards us. Yeah.
go ahead.
No, I was just saying if it was look malicious towards us or towards the sharks still.
It's hard to say at this point. What you see almost looks to be like a large green arrowhead pointed towards you that is moving sort of like this through the water. Go ahead and make a survival check for me, or a survival or nature. And for you, I'll say, as you're seeing this as well, so if you want to make one as well.
Be 18.
Oh, okay.
You said survival or nature?
Yep.
17.
Okay. Both of you, this immediately puts your head into the thought of like a giant squid. Now, the one thing that's sort of tossing around in the back of your mind as you're looking at this thing from towards you, you've never seen one with hard, sort of what looks to be like an armored top. Usually they're somewhat soft and squishy. Furia, you've probably eaten a couple of squid, given what people tend to catch on the ship. So that's what you're starting to see come towards you. At the moment, though, it's hard to say whether or not it is malicious towards you or if it's just going after the sharks. Both of you would probably have the thought, if it is just an animal, it's probably looking for food. And if it can't catch them, that brings us to Furia.
I'm going to swim sort of forward in between Snowmoon and Lydia, and just sort of like slap my tail around, like, come on guys, what are we doing? Sort of thing. But I can't do anything far away, so I'm just gonna wait around.
Okay.
If I guess if it makes it in range, before my turn comes around again, I'll try to bite it, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, from what you've been seeing with its movement speed, it doesn't look like it's a very fast creature. As it looks like it probably tried to make a meal out of the sharks and then didn't do so hot trying to do it. And these things took off and it's been trying to play catch up and just not having much luck with it.
I'm confident that I could outswim it. I'm not sure about my friends here.
And that'll bring us over to Lydia then, as you are now holding an action.
I'm going to say, crap, if it doesn't go after the sharks, it's going to go after the ship. So I'm gonna cast my spell at it.
Okay, and
I'm afraid for the ship.
Okay.
And that is call lightning, Bob.
Alrighty then. So that, I
Interesting
think,
choice.
is a dexterity save, right?
Is
Okay, so
15 dexterity save. And since it's already stormy conditions, I get another 1d10.
Nice.
So
okay. So that is a dex save for this thing, right?
15.
Okay, let's see here. Doesn't have a great modifier. Okay, and that is going to be a fail. Grab the wrong dot.
Destructive wrath.
You're the wrong one. Yeah, you're the wrong one. That was not my little dragon club. That's why that failed me. Okay. And how much damage was that?
B.
Your mic is cutting in and out hard tonight for some reason for me. 40? Stop doing all horse rabbit bullshit. God damn, man. Okay.
I use destructive wrath.
Max damage.
Oh. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. So, Lydia calling down on her deity. And how does this look as you reach out to your deity for divine guidance, calling this down?
I'm gonna flash the lightning like storm and kind of go cloudy, and I'm gonna like put out my hand and just bring it down like that, and it's gonna cackle over the ocean into the center.
So, Snowmoon, as you are not really seeing any of this as Lydia's underwater,
Yeah.
all of a sudden, as you've been standing out here in the storm, you watch as this massive bolt of lightning comes crashing down and slams into the top of this sort of bumpy green shell that has been coasting towards you. And you watch as this thing rears back a little bit, but then continues right along as it's going.
Okay.
Okay, anything else you'd be doing, Lydia?
Nope.
Okay, so that's going to bring us over to our giant sharks and reef sharks. I'm just going to remove off the initiative tracker at this point, as they are now, the giant shark is over 200 feet away and the reef sharks are both 180. So by the time that anyone gets around to that, they're going to be, pretty much long gone. That'll bring us over to Snow Moon then.
All right.
Now, this thing looks to be still about 100 feet out.
Okay. Can I get like a sense of roughly like how wide this thing is across?
Let me see here if we go. Okay. So give or take with what you're looking at, it's hard to really get a good grasp of the width of this thing. As the way the way you're watching it move, your head's on you think more in terms of length. As it's moving through the water in almost like a serpentine method.
Okay.
And your rough guess is 20 to 30 feet long.
Okay.
Give or take, probably about 10 to 12 feet wide.
All right. I guess so. Even sensing that this thing isn't that wide, I don't want to be directly in its path when it does reach us. I'm just gonna move to the right about like 20 feet or so.
Oh, okay.
Just kind of hold my position there, like still ready.
So if you're facing it, moving to the right is going to put you further away from the ship.
I guess I'll move to the left then.
Okay, because if you're facing it, it's coming from the east. So if you're moving right, you're moving south, and the ship is now probably about 80 or 90 feet away from the three of you right now.
Yeah, so I guess I'll move left then, just to try and cut down any kind of distance I can between me and the ship, but still have my eyes like focused on this creature, just ready for when it catches up to us.
And then that brings us over to this creature who is still just about that 100 feet away. It really was not a fan of that, though.
Noticed this before. I'm pretty sure it knows we're there now.
No, they're just gone in the ship and left. But, yeah. Looks like it was threatening the ship and...
Okay. So... Oh yeah, that's... It's got range for that.
Right.
So... It's gonna do it. Bollocks. Hey, how do I get back? That's gonna... yeah, that's not gonna work. Dang you. Okay, it's not gonna reopen it, sorry. Okay, so... As it continues to swim closer, it only gets about 30 feet closer to you this round. It doesn't seem to be moving as quickly. But now for... and unfortunately this is going to catch Furia as well, as you are right next to... You're right near Lydia. I need both of you to make... what is it? Dexterity saving throws for me.
17.
I'm sorry, what was that?
17?
Okay. And, Reef Furia?
Dirty 20? I believe.
Okay. So you both make the save, so you take half damage as the water around you starts to become cold. And Snow Moon, you notice this as you've moved sort of away from your teammates, but a massive cylinder of swirling what looks to be ice and snow appears in the air as hailstones start to slam down into the water where you just left Furia and Lydia a few moments ago.
Okay.
So for for Furia and Lydia, roll some damage here. You know you're going to take half of this damage. You take. That's a crappy roll. Okay, you take 8 points of bludgeoning damage halved to 4. And okay, I'll take that.
Uh-oh.
22 points of cold damage halved to 11.
Jeez.
As around you now, there are just softball-sized hailstones starting to slam and float through the water. Water is already difficult terrain for you, Lydia, so it doesn't make any difference. Furia, for the next round, the water around you is now considered difficult terrain and basically a 20-foot circle around the two of you. Well, more specifically, around Lydia, but you're like right next to her, so for all purposes. And that will bring us over to Furia.
So I'm not liking this. I'm going to swim out.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to go same sort of direction as Snowmoon and go to one side.
Okay.
But also head towards whatever this thing is as well.
Okay.
So I have 40 feet, so I'll head out and over and forward.
Yeah, so you can literally, we'll say you get just outside of this sort of difficult terrain area. And anything else you'd be doing, or you still have an action. You can dash if you choose to.
Still like 70, 80 feet away, yeah?
Yeah,
Something
it's
like
still about 70, 75 feet away.
I'm going to start swimming toward it, but I'm only going to... Well, no, I don't have any movement left, so I can't really do anything else if I don't have movement.
Right, unless you want to use your action to dash.
Oh, I do. I'll use about 20 feet of my dash to
Okay.
move forward. That's it.
Okay, so that brings us over to Lydia.
Call lightning. My call lightning is still up, so I will.
Oh, actually, you took damage, and that is that
Oh,
concentration.
I have to roll. You're right.
Yep.
Oh wait, that was more than I could roll, right? The 22.
No, because
Or
you
did I
took half damage,
Okay.
and it's half the damage you took. So you took 4 and 11, so you took 15. So you'd have to roll 10 or higher.
Okay, the 17.
Okay, and you're fine. You still have concentration on it.
Okay, I'm gonna do that again.
Oh, okay.
This time I have to roll. I can't do max damage.
Next, you can only do Channel Divinities once a day, right?
Yep. So I'll need a deck save,
Oh, okay. Let's see.
and I'll take that.
Okay, this time it rolled a nat 20, so it's going to take half damage.
Oh, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 19 total. So
Okay, you have
it'll
to-
take 8.
Yeah. Okay. And that
I'll
one.
move out of the difficult terrain too. I'll try to start swimming 20 feet towards Feria too.
Oh,
out of
okay.
the difficult terrain.
Yeah, so again, you can get just outside that area as well.
Okay.
Oh, wait, what's your total movement?
Oh, 15 feet, sorry.
Okay, yeah, so
30.
you're just within it, but at the end of your turn, the hail starts to melt away anyway, so.
Okay.
And that will bring us to the top of the order, and this is probably the best spot we're going to get to take our break for a little while. So we're going to take a short break as our party is currently dealing with some strange creature that is now just coming into range. I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I think the next go-around they're going to learn what they're facing. So we'll be back in just a few. If you've been hanging out with us, thank you very much, and we'll be back soon, so don't go anywhere, folks. This time I'm going to remember to hit the bleeding commercial button after I mute the microphone, so we'll be back soon. welcome back, everybody. Remember, time to mute microphones this time, and our party is currently involved in a rather somewhat tense combat situation as they have jumped off the ship, which is still sailing northward in the middle of a rather bad storm. As they had thought that there was going to be some trouble with a small group of what they took to be sharks given the dorsal fins, but have since discovered that the sharks were actually fleeing something. As Lydia proceeded to cannonball on the nose of one of the sharks, and rather, give it a little bit of a bloody nose there. It did try to take a bite out of her, and some of the other sharks tried to take a bite out of Furia and Snowmoon as they swam by, but they are still in full flight mode. As now Lydia, Furia, and Snowmoon have started to see this, well, Furia and Lydia are seeing this sort of shadowy blob come towards them. That is just now really starting to come into focus. Snowmoon is seeing this rather pointed, almost arrowhead-shaped green shell coming towards him. And that's where we pick up, is at the top of the order with Snowmoon.
Alright. So I'm gonna trying to stay to the side of it still. I'm going to dash for 60 points of movement and ready an action. If this thing passes me, I'm going to strike at it with my greatsword if it does reach me.
Okay, so, well, it's only about 70 feet away, so if you dash out to it...
I can't...
Yeah, if you dash, you wouldn't have an action to ready.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, so I'll dash, and I'll just... go
Okay.
there.
So then it comes to its turn, and it is going to keep moving. Now, with you not dashing, with you dashing, that puts you 60. So yeah, it's going to be right beside you. And what you are seeing, and let me see here if I can get this drag. Give me a second. Let me do this. Get this dragged on here for us. Already. Okay. Wait a second here to get this thing. No, I don't need another sheet. Oh my god. Stop it, mouse. That's not what I want. Okay, that works. Okay, what you see now right beside you is this.
Oh.
With 8 massive tentacles swaying in the water behind it, propelling it
that's
forward.
horrible.
Hard green shelled top. As it is now right up beside you, it is going to take an attack at you. Okay, so let's see here. And you are let's see here. What is it? Yeah, you are the only thing in range right now, so it is going to keep swiping at you until it hits. And it can try 8 times.
Yikes.
So let's see here. Okay. What's your armor class?
17.
Okay. So actually, it only has to try once because that is a 10 on the die, and that is 11 to hit. So it is going to
Oh dear.
grab you, and that is Yes, you take 11 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
Oh, and let me rephrase. Actually, it's supposed to make makes two attacks in order to do that. So the second one will hit as well. So that is a 19 on the die. And you take an additional 10 points of necrotic damage, and you are now grappled by this creature.
So that was 10, and what was the first one, did you say? 6?
No, call it 8, because I can't remember.
Okay.
And it's basically it's a d6 plus 7, so we'll just call it 8.
Okay.
We'll assume it rolled a 1 on the die. Okay, and that will end its go, as you are the only thing it can attack right now.
Okay.
And you are now grappled and coming along for the ride. And that brings us to Furia and Lydia's. This thing is now close enough as you can see this. As it is now, this body, as it's getting closer, it's starting to slow down, and you're watching it as it's now sort of turning itself to face you. The tentacles are starting to swing over, and as it's turning, you can see as this dragonborn is sort of plunged into the water and then pulled back out. You watch the snow moons just sort of getting waved around, grabbed between two of this thing's tentacles.
I would like to swim toward it and dive under it if possible.
Okay, so it was...
And go in for a bite attack.
Okay, so that was 75.
If
So
it's that close. 40 feet away?
Yeah, so it was 75. It moved 30. Which would put it about 40, about 40, 45 feet away. So yeah, given the size of it, I'll say sure, you can do it.
Alright, I'll try to bite it.
Okay.
I wonder how squid tastes. I mean, giant ice-breathing squid. That's a dirty 20.
Okay, that should be enough to hit. We'll just make sure. Oh yeah, that definitely hits it. So go ahead and roll your damage.
Eight points of piercing damage.
I can't get you to let go. Oh my god. Points of piercing damage. Okay. I'm having a fist fight with my mouse. Okay, is there anything else you'd be doing?
I believe that's about it as a shark.
Okay, so that will bring us over to Lydia.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, I heard you say now.
Yeah.
Great. I love this microphone.
Let me do this.
How far away is it from me?
At this point, about 40, 45 feet away.
Okay, I'm gonna do the thing. I'm gonna cast Sacred Flame, and then I'm gonna try to hit it with a hammer. Oh, a spirit hammer. Spirit hammer! Spirit catpaw! Spirit weapon!
Spiritual weapon. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Finally got there.
Okay, so, you said you're casting,
Sacred Flame first.
Okay, so is that a cantrip?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes, it's radiant damage.
Dexterity save.
Fear me.
Okay, actually, I think that's going to fail. I'm afraid to open his character sheet because it got stuck last time. Okay, yeah, that fails.
Cool. 8 radiant damage.
Okay. There we go. And you said you were going to try to do Sacred Weapon as well?
Action spiritual weapon, in the shape of a giant seashell.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack roll with it.
17.
I heard you say teen.
17. 7
That'll
plus
hit.
2. Okay. I'm. You hate your mouse. I hate my mic.
It's gonna be one of them days.
Where is my D8? There we go. Ooh. 9 points of force damage.
Hey.
How's it looking there, boss?
You can definitely see there is a whole bunch of this sort of just bluish black blood starting to seep out into the water. It's definitely looking like it's taking some shots.
Good.
Okay, and that'll bring us over to Snow Moon.
All right, so I am grappled. I guess can I just try to fight free of its grip?
Yep, yeah, you can make a strength check and see if you can get out.
All right, yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
That's an 8. So it's the roll plus the.
Plus your strength modifier.
Okay. It's a 12.
You know, try as you might, it's just these two massive tentacles wrapped around you. It's doesn't even want to let go of its meal.
So is that my action too to try and?
To try to break out is an action, yeah.
Okay.
You are a fighter. You do have action surge if you want to use it.
So I can try to like swing at the tentacle.
If you use your action surge, you get a second action. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I will use my action surge and attempt to slice at this tentacle that has me grappled right now.
Okay, so go ahead and make your attack roll.
21 to hit.
That'll hit.
Uh, 11 points of slashing damage.
Okay. That's 11. Okay, something real quick here. Alrighty then. Anything else you're doing?
No, that's about it. All I can do. So.
Okay. So it's this
Actually,
thing.
I could still use my bonus action, correct?
Yep.
Action surge. I'll use second wind actually,
Oh,
and
okay.
regain 1d10 plus 5.
Okay, so let's see here. Okay. I really gotta jot this down and make a cheat sheet for myself. What languages do all of you speak?
Common and draconic for me.
Elvish,
Elvish.
Common, Giant.
Sylvan and Druidic.
Oh, okay, yeah, so it's art. Okay. So, you all start to hear something sort of garbled, and then it stops for a second. And then you hear again, "You're more trouble than you're worth." And with that, the Snow Moon, the tentacles that are holding you, slam you down into the water and release you.
Okay.
As all of a sudden, a thick black cloud of darkness surrounds all of you. I need, actually, No, it actually would not hit Lydia. She's further enough back. So for both Furia and Snow Moon, I need you both to make Constitution saving throws for me.
A 15 for me.
Okay, so that fails.
Ugh.
15 for me as well.
Okay, so both fail as this thick black cloud fills the water. And before you can even think of it, as you're breathing heavily during this battle, Fury, especially you with the water just flowing through your gills, this liquid flows through your system. And both of you take 17 points of poison damage.
Yikes.
And you are now blinded. Or let me rephrase, you're not blind, you are affected by the darkness spell. There is a 30-foot sphere of just pitch black. And both of you can feel as this creature starts to move away. You're welcome to make an attack, take an attack of opportunity if you'd like to. Will be at disadvantage as you are blind, considered blinded. And
Reef sharks apparently have blind sight.
oh,
It doesn't say on this
Alrighty then.
thing here, but in my app that I've been using, it says it does.
it does
So I
on
don't know
that.
if you
Yeah, it
wanna-
does on the character sheet in Roll20 too.
So I would still like to make a attack.
Yeah, and even
Okay,
at
so
disadvantage.
you will actually have advantage because you have blindsight and you do have an ally within 5 feet.
Oh, even better. That's the 23 to hit.
That'll hit for Reef Shark.
15 to hit.
15 doesn't, as it starts to swim away. You're just trying to pull the sword and get it moving through the water in this darkness. At the same point, you're coughing and retching up this dark liquid.
6 points of piercing.
Okay. You manage to rip and you get a chunk off one of the sort of back ends of one of the tentacles comes off in your mouth as it starts to swim away. And that actually brings us to you. It manages to get about 30 feet away from you.
I'm going to swim after it and try that whole thing again.
Okay.
Because I don't like being dumped in black, inky nastiness.
Okay, so as you swim up, it's just a regular attack now as it's out of range of Snow Moon at this point. But as you watch, as it is now swimming away and down, diving deeper.
That's only an 8 to hit.
So that it manages, as you reach out to bite, it manages to just pull that tentacle just barely out of the way of you.
If my shark had fists, it would be shaking them, but unfortunately.
And that'll bring us over to Lydia. You saw this cloud of sort of black, inky liquid get ejected from the squid. And now you've lost sight of your friends. You can see this creature is starting to dive down away.
I would have ended concentration on the call lightning last turn too.
Okay.
That's why the spiritual weapon thing. So I would just. Would I know where Snow Moon was to do healing word on him at least?
I'll say he's in a massive cloud of darkness, so not really. It's the
Okay.
same as the darkness spell. You're just seeing, you know, he's somewhere in a big black cloud of something.
I'll just do the same then and move my spiritual weapon up and try to hit it and cast Sacred Flame again.
Okay. That's going to need another dexterity save.
This time.
Do like them Canadian dice, man. That is a 19 on the die. That's going to make
Okay.
it save. So is Sacred Flame save or suck, or is it half damage?
No, it's not half damage. Okay. So then I'll still roll for the hammer. Seashell.
Yep.
And that is a 25.
So that'll hit. So go ahead and roll your damage.
10.
Okay. Okay, let me just take a look here. Just make sure something here. Oh, okay, well, that's my fault. Okay, that brings us to Snow Moon.
So to try and get up out of the ink, can I get back to the surface of the water and
So
walk?
go
on
ahead
it?
and make a survival check. Because it's literally, you're just in a pitch black. You've
Okay.
sort of, basically, you've been shaken. You don't know what up is down at this point.
Okay. Oh god, that's a 1.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So let's see here. Wait a second. Let me grab do me a favor. Roll a percentile for me. A D100.
Okay. 50.
Okay. You emerge out of the cloud, and as you look around, you can you ended up swimming straight down the opposite direction you meant to go in. But you are
Right.
out of the cloud, and you can now tell that you're swimming down. As just in that couple of feet, you start to notice the pressure getting a little different, but you can see the water sort of clearing. And as you swim out and you look, you can see that at this point, probably about 40 odd feet away from you, diving down deeper, is this creature being chased by a reef shark.
Okay. How much of my movement did I use to get out of the ink?
See here, I want to see. So it's difficult terrain because you don't have a swim speed. So it would have been taking you 15 feet to get out of there, and what's your movement? I'm assuming 30?
30, yeah.
Yeah, so you would have used your full movement to swim out of it.
Okay, and it's now 45 feet away
It's
from me?
again, just based on the way it's moving versus the direction you ended up swimming. Yeah, it's about 40, 45 feet away.
Okay.
And it looks like it's running.
Yeah, my breath weapon attack is only 30 feet, and it's further away and moving, so... I guess... Yeah, he's just gonna stay there. He's still trying to get his bearings from emerging from the ink, so...
Okay, so that will bring us over to this creature again. As it is trying to run and is not liking the shark chasing it. Oh, okay. Let's see here. Oh, no, first I gotta see if something recharges. It does not. Oh, okay. Let's see here. So it is actually going to, as it's starting to, as this reef shark is trying to catch up with it, it is actually going to do something else here. Let's make sure that it can actually do this. Perfect. Okay. So, Furia, I need a dexterity saving throw, please.
$19?
Okay. So you managed to avoid taking any damage.
Okay.
As you're chasing after this thing, its tentacles are just feels like inches away from you. the water around you starts to get cold. As you watch as the water solidifies. As literally a massive wall of ice forms between you and this creature. Now, this is literally ends up being. Let me grab my.
I am familiar with the spell.
Yeah.
So I can imagine it, and I can imagine myself like
It's
booping
basically
my nose into it.
It's basically what this creature has done is it's basically created almost a half sphere around you, with a flat wall, then the bottom one angled, the top one angled to sort of basically cut you in, so you really don't have a clear path to get to it. And then it is going to keep swimming away. So it is going to use its full movement, and that'll bring us back to you.
Well, seeing as how it, made the effort to let me know that it doesn't want to get bitten anymore, and a shark figure is not actually feeling all that great. She's probably, beat up, bleeding out of a couple holes. She's just going to turn around and start swimming the opposite direction.
Okay.
Well, she's ahead, so to speak. Back up towards Lydia and Snowmoon.
Oh, okay. And as you start swimming back up and sort of giving it that wide berth to avoid that massive cloud of ink, you can see Snowmoon, it seems to be swimming the wrong direction, heading down, but seems to be getting himself situated. And then, Lydia, what would you be doing? As you're watching this thing swim away, and you've just watched this... You've watched this creature freeze salt water.
Going to be putting a light out for Snowmoon, so he knows like you're going the wrong way. I'm gonna cast light, and then I'm just gonna be heading up towards the surface.
Okay. Then at this point, we will go ahead and take us out of initiative. As this, if you guys are not chasing this, it is retreating away. So
How far away is the boat?
As you guys go ahead and break the surface, go ahead and make a perception check. As Fury, actually, would you be staying as a shark, or as you catch up, would you be becoming yourself? And get...
I would be staying as a shark in hopes that it would help us get back to the boat quicker.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, this shark looks really beat up. I have 1 hit point left.
Oh, wow.
22
Yeah.
perception. Wow.
Oh, okay.
So,
Dirty 20 for me, perception.
Oh, okay. So both of you being up and climbing up and now standing on the water with this sort of beaten, bloodied shark, sticking its nose and eyes out of the water. You guys can tell the ship is probably about 200 feet away. At this point, it's
a couple
maybe
dashes.
maybe a little closer than that. About this time, though, you start. Actually, Lydia, you can probably hear this. People calling out. You can't make out what they're saying at this distance, but you can hear voices coming from that direction. And this range. Lydia, does an 18 hit you? As coming from the ship, you hear a thump, and a bolt fired from the ballista
No, they probably think I'm gonna eat them.
comes sailing through the air. And as you're watching, all of you can see this. There seems to be a long length of rope attached to it. And Lydia, your first thought is, oh, they're throwing us a line. Oh, shit. As it slams into your shoulder.
Oh.
you end up taking
I hope it doesn't kill me.
8 points of piercing damage,
Ooh.
It's a lot of damage, but it doesn't kill me yet.
and almost immediately start getting pulled. As-
Ow, 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 ow!
I'm starting to swim towards the ship, and I'm hoping Snowmoon gets the idea of hold on to the rope.
Yeah, I'll try to grab the rope before Lydia gets pulled away, but I don't want to grab Lydia because, like, with the bolt in her, that might just make things worse.
Yeah, it's easy enough as you guys are all sort of right near each other. You look like it looks like somebody was trying to just get a line in the general area, and with disadvantage, rolled an 18.
Oh,
So, let's go. Wait, I see her. So
don't.
as you two grab onto the rope, and again, as you two start, and again, trying to pull yourselves towards it, and again, you can feel somebody on the other end pulling on the rope. I want both of you to go ahead and make athletics checks for me.
Okay.
And then, Vera, you're doing fine as the shark, as you're just dashing and swimming right along, so.
Yeah, I'm just hoping they'll lower a rope when I get to the boat or something.
A 26 for me.
Oof.
17.
Oh, okay. Yeah, easy enough. You guys both are managing to hold on to this. You can see, even as you're getting closer, Furia's where Furia's able to dash, she's going 80 feet. You guys are coming in at about 45 to 50 feet closer to the ship each round, so to speak. But eventually, you guys end up at the side of the ship with this very beaten and bloody reef shark just sort of swimming right beside the back end of the ship. But eventually, you get there. They help the two of you on. Fear, are you dropping form and climbing up with them?
Yeah, I would be.
So as you're climbing on, Lydia, you see a somewhat horrified, sort of stout, stockish, dwarven person standing a little ways towards the back of the ship next to the ballista. Sorry, I was just trying to get it close.
Joro, you should have better aim than that. Ugh. Actually, that was a damn good shot.
It starts to turn around and goes, I was going to say I hit you at over 200 feet, but hey. So, what was that
Or
thing?
behind me, not at me. I will go lie down for a while because I'm really messed up. Unless anyone else needs me.
I'll pat Lydia on not the skewered shoulder and healing word just to take the edge off. I don't know even how much that does, like. It actually does something decent. That's 7 points of healing.
Thank you. But you feel slightly better.
I'm a little banged up, but I can wait till you rest, Lydia.
Let's do that first, and I'll see to any grievous wounds after I tend to mine. Seems fair.
If
Understood.
the captain wants to know what happened, I can go tell her. I'm fine.
Give her a full report.
Yeah, the captain's still up at the wheel. And as you all have sort of been pulled back up again, the rain is still beating down, but you notice that it's not quite as bad as it was. It seems like you may be coming to the, basically pass through the center and coming out the other side of it. You can start to see the sky getting brighter off in the distance. Looks like the sun should be up soon.
Sorry. So now we think that thing underwater might have had something to do with the storm too, right?
I don't know
Like
if you think
affecting it. Oh, okay. I don't know whether to think that either, so I will keep that to
waves
myself.
Crashing over the boat aren't as large anymore.
that. Right, the waves are dying down a little bit. The storm is dying down a little bit. And as you're having a couple moments, and Furia, you'd probably get this thought a little quicker than everyone else because you were right up in front of it. It was casting spells at you. It spoke to you. It's not just some squid. And again, now Lydia, you and Snowman would probably have that.
Squid. Oh crap! Is it that squid that we know? That other squid? The giant squid?
What? Lydia,
Never
what are you
mind.
going on about?
Nothing. I'm having a feverish daydream. I'm gonna go lie down.
Trying to remember squid.
Oh, this is the Kraken in SKT. Storm King Saga.
Oh, Slethrakle? No.
Okay, good.
Dude,
Otherwise,
no,
guy
if
would
that
kill
was
the
Slethrakle,
squid.
yeah, you'd be
They
dead.
were terrified.
Yeah, okay, good. That's
Yeah,
the only other squid I can think of.
I'm sure you
On my
go.
list of squids, that one's pretty high.
My list is good. Let me.
I'm like, okay, did I mess up a description on somebody that they were reading about it somewhere? No, I don't think I gave him any squid. Yeah, no, I'm not stealing Slethrakle. I'll borrow a movie. I won't steal villains that, Wolfen wants to kill.
Okay.
Although, if that doesn't happen, he's only a short jaunt north from here.
Just leave them alone for now.
Let's leave everyone alone.
Okay, so you guys managed to settle down. So, as you head downstairs to try to get some rest, Lydia, as you're hitting the stairs, you can tell as you're looking around, the sun is just starting to come up. As it is still fairly early in the morning.
I guess quitting time. Better hit that dusty trail. You know where to find me.
Yeah, so as the captain looks over at, well, more specifically, Lydia and Snowmoon, who are looking a little rough, and like, whatever it is you two got into, go get some rest. We'll talk in a while once you've dealt with that.
I'm fine to talk
Captain.
now, Captain. If we need to, I can rest later.
It would be nice to know what the hell that was all about. All of a
It
sudden, the
was-
three of you jump off the ship.
Well, at first we just
fine.
saw sharks, and we thought that was it. But then they were retreating as if they were being chased by something, and then we saw this enormous squid. But I was on the surface when it happened, but it looked like it was able to bring like hail down on top of our group, so it's some type of magic or something.
Think of a very large turtle-sized squid. I mean, not the biggest one we saw, not the island one, but not the little ones, like the medium-sized turtle that we saw earlier.
Sort of looking between the two of you at this point. And she looks over at Snow Moon specifically. You do realize you are on a boat. Sharks are not a problem for us. What are they going to do? Fly up here?
We figured the waves were coming from below and not just part of the storm. We wanted to check it out. Turn out, giant squid.
And perhaps next time discuss with your captain before leaving the vessel.
Perhaps we acted rashly, Captain.
I'll have to speak with Lydia as well after she wakes. Christ, she looked like hell.
We
I
chased
think
it off,
hitting the
but
shoulder would do that. Yes.
we weren't able to fell the creature, but we did chase it off.
So, okay, so you're telling me that you have pissed off a magic squid
Yes,
then
that.
let it leave
Well, I wouldn't
so
say
it
we
can
let
come
it
back later.
leave. I wouldn't say we let it leave, but that's pretty much the brunt of it. Yes.
Captain just sort of dryly is. This is what I have to get back and deal with this. We're mostly through the storm, but
Well, I know what would cheer you up. We have yet to go through all the treasure we got from the last place we were.
give it a few hours once we're clear this and the others are cognitive. We'll sit down and go through it all and see how much we can make at our next port of call. She just sort of waves the two of you and dismissively goes back to paying attention to the helm. Lydia, as you get downstairs, you can see Art again sort of muttering to themselves, sitting in their bunk. Just reading through books still.
You missed Art. You missed a magical giant squid.
What a magical squid. What?
Could have used you there, buddy. But glad you're studying that portal stuff still.
Why didn't anyone let me know?
We're sleeping. Maybe.
But a squid attacked the ship. Nobody woke me.
No, it didn't really attack the ship. We were afraid it was going to attack the ship. So we preemptively... Oh, that sounds bad. We preemptively attacked the giant magical squid. Keep reading. I'm gonna go to bed.
Art just sort of looks down for a moment. Just shakes his head and goes back to the book. We're not just randomly go attack a squid. No.
Yeah, I guess being dismissed from the captain, Snowmoon he'll go to his bunk and just kind of rest a bit after the battle.
Okay,
Furia will go down and sit on her hammock and start weaving the feather that got left behind into her hair. Because, I mean, she's bored. She had her excitement for the morning. She's just waiting for something else to happen at this point.
After probably about half an hour or so after you come back down and you're resting, you can hear Fear. You hear her call. Oh, what you doing over there? Come on, time to start cooking. Okay, get the morning grub up.
Cooking. She'll jump up and jump down from her second bunk and run off.
Yeah, some of the people start shouting out to get their daily duties prepped. It's a little bit more morning now than it was when you guys were abruptly awoken. But you can hear as Fairy takes care of her regular, part of her regular boarding duties. A couple of hours later, the captain comes by. So, are we doing this now with... She looks over at Art, and Art just sort of waves their hand. You know, it's feel free. They have everything.
Yeah, I have the bag of holding that. I think I can just turn it inside out and dump everything out.
Art sort of nods because I think Art identified it for you all. But it'll just basically spew everything that's in it out. So.
Yeah, and so I'll stuff back in the staff, unless Lydia says something about it.
Lydia, you do see, because that was... Well, it was dropped off with you, but you were unconscious when it was done. So you do notice the staff that Jack had taken away and sent away is somehow back. You just saw it pop out of the bag of holding.
And yes, that's good that we have that back.
I'm mid stuffing it back in the bag.
Syria, didn't you think that we were being tracked through that staff? Is that...
Right, that's why I'm putting it back in here.
Okay.
I don't know for sure. I mean, I'm not magical, but that's... I mean, it seemed okay. I'd also pick up anything else I know that's not part of what we got from the
Okay.
house.
So
I
I'm
think
looking
we had
at your
potions and
pirate
stuff.
booty, and all you guys have marked down on it. You don't
So
have any of the stuff from the...
Yeah, I don't think we marked down anything in here from the house
Okay,
because
I
we weren't
thought-
all sure exactly what we grabbed.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to go back.
Grabbed either.
then.
Just kind of like...
So I thought
empty.
Jack was
Just
dropping
off.
that down.
off.
Okay, so let me see here. Give me just a moment. We're gonna...
Yeah, I do have some of it written down. But the magic stuff, I just have a bunch of magic stuff from the magic room.
Yeah.
I have everything else written down, I think.
Oh, okay, perfect.
So it's 5 decorative rapiers, 2 tapestries, a large pretty stone geode that I picked up because I thought it looked nice, and a small silvery crown.
Okay.
Then,
So let's see here.
do you want to put that in? Do you want to put that into the pirate booty because you made the list?
I don't know if we're putting it in there or
Oh, okay.
because we're sort of giving it to the captain as
Oh,
you know,
true,
the
true,
better
true.
to operate,
Okay.
so I don't-
Okay, so what was that again? You said it was 5 decorative rapiers, right?
Yep, 2 tapestries, 1 large stone geode that just looks nice, 1 small silvery crown.
Okay. Now, are you showing any of the magic items, or you're holding on to those?
I think I would hold on to the one that we know is the piece of the set,
Yep.
but everything else we
Oh,
haven't
okay.
even identified yet, so.
Okay. So let's see here. Okay, so we're gonna do it this way. Okay, Captain, do me a favor. Roll 2 percentiles for me. 2 D100s.
13 and 40.
Okay. So as the captain's looking over the 2 pieces, he says, "Okay, well, let's see here. It should be worth." These 2 should be worth about 400 apiece. These. And she picks up one of the rapiers and sort of very lightly tries to bend it. And you can see it bends a little more than a normal rapier would. Then she goes over and looks at the crown. Lydia and Snowmoon, each of you roll me a percentile die, please.
30.
Okay.
54.
Okay, so. Okay, so we'll start. Okay. So she picks up and looks at the silver crown for a moment. Okay, well. This we can probably get 250 gold for, maybe. And then these. These rapier across the whole batch of them. Yeah, we might be able to get 300 for the whole batch of the rapiers. And she picks up and sort of looks at the geode a little bit. That's a pretty rock, but I don't really see much value in it. Is it magic?
Probably not. I just thought it looked nice and, in the spur of the moment, grabbed it.
She hands it back over to you. It's can't see it being worth much. And these other items, these are magical in nature?
I'm just gonna shrug and point over at Art.
And Art is barely paying attention, but eventually notices. Yes, I haven't spent any time with them, but yes, when we were doing the thing in the place, and points over at Lydia. But she told us they were. So I can try to spend some time and try to get it figured out. So, Captain puts over the couple of items to Art to figure out what they are. Let's see here. We're going to go. And okay. Last one. Okay. So as Art spends about a half an hour identifying these items, is there anything y'all would be doing, or would you just be in there with the captain waiting for Art?
I would be waiting and amusing myself by looking at my pretty rock.
Oh, okay.
I'd just be waiting.
Lydia? Are you muted?
Waiting and resting?
Oh, okay. So let's see here. So as you all are sitting there, so Art sort of pushes the first item up. Okay, so this here, it's this is a curative ointment that it can cure disease and prevent people from being poisoned. Best guess without playing with it too much is it looks to have maybe 2, possibly 3 doses in it. Sets that down, then pulls over another item, and then and holds up it looks to be just a plain silver rod, and you can see a little grin on Art's face as Art holds it up in front of you, Lydia, and just goes, and you watch as puts your hand up and just. He goes like this. Lydia, pull this. You can't move it.
Oh,
Then Art
okay.
lets go of it. You can have it.
Oh, okay.
And try as you might, you cannot get it to move. And as the captain sort of goes there, then Art reaches up and, grabs it on the end again and seems to take it right back down.
Mm.
Once this is set, it can't be moved. Well, it's okay. It can be moved to something strong enough to move it, but
Nice.
for most things, it's not strong enough. And then the last one, and last thing they set up looks to be just like an old lantern. It'll shed light, and if there's something invisible in front of it, it'll show you. And the captain
Maybe Snow Moon should have that, because Snowman has no means of casting light about him.
Okay, yes, if you think I should take it, I'll grab it.
As you go to reach out, the captain puts her hand on top of it.
Yeah, I thought we were selling that.
Right, I'm not putting it in the party loot then.
Well, that's...
Yeah, he'll just put his hand back at his side.
Again, these items are, well, I'm assuming it would probably be difficult to find buyers for magic items such as these to fetch a good price. And you will be doing more work for me. Suppose I could let you... That is the group of all of you. Hold on to these items for, say, 1,500 gold. That would be enough to spread some wealth around the crew. Probably a slight bit better than what we'd get at town, but still cheaper than what you'd pay to try to buy these on your own.
Do you want the lantern, Snow Moon?
I mean,
The lamp.
I think I could get by without it if we don't want to.
Snow Moon, you are literally blind. In the
I'm
dark,
not blind, but
like me.
Spells that can help with that. And honestly, I'm not really interested in any of the items.
He's one whole fight in the darkness.
I've done it before and come out just fine.
Okay,
Helping
that's up to you.
me, I just have to remember to, memorize it for the day. If that's something we want to do.
As Art sort of looks around and holds the rod up again.
The rod might be useful. Does anyone have any interest in the rod?
And that ointment that can heal diseases.
Yes.
That's probably useful.
I'm
Yes.
pretty sure that a spell for that as well.
What would it be
That's right.
for just the rod and the healing potion, Captain?
We were doing 1,500 for the 3, so say 500 apiece. 1,000 gold.
I don't have 1,000 gold, but that's up to you guys.
Well, there's 4 of us. If you want to count Will, I haven't seen him in a while. That's 5.
2 gold between the 4 of us, so I guess I could do that.
I will mention, just also keep in mind that you do have coin in your party loot as well.
Oh, right.
Including 310 platinum.
Oh, right. Okay,
So you've
that's
actually
fine.
got over 3,000 gold at the moment, should the party choose to use it.
If you see use in the items, I'd say I'd chip in.
Yeah, sure, I'll chip in
Honestly-
too.
Yeah, I think the 2 could be useful.
So the captain basically goes over behind her desk, opens a chest, starts putting everything else into it. Slides over the Kyotum's ointment, which has 3 uses in the jar. And an immovable rod.
Should I put that in the bag of holding then? Those 2 things?
Yeah,
It's up to you.
unless someone wants to hold them, I would.
Yeah, the bag of holding sounds good.
Should I take the 1,000 out of there too, or do you want to pay it separately?
Get out of the bag since
Yeah.
I mean, we're not getting the ointment for 1 person.
Okay.
Same with the rod, I guess.
And Kevin, do you remember, did we discuss what color that geode was?
I don't think so.
Roll a d4 if you would for me.
Four.
Okay. So it's, as you're looking, again, as you're looking at this geode, is Lydia's taking care of getting all this done, and the captain's putting the things in the chest. This stone is a interesting, again, like most geodes, it's got that regular sort of stone outer look to it. But as you look at the interior of it, right next to the outer stone wall is a very sort of deep, dark purple color. As it moves in towards the middle, it changes to a lighter color, then almost to a white. And as you get right into sort of where the geode sort of peaks and the little points or teeth, whatever you want to call it, within it, have a slight emerald hue to it. So for reasons, you're going to want to mark down that has that as an emerald geode. Because, you know, reasons. So that is the proceeds to get everything set up as well. On our next port of call, send a couple of the crew in to sell all this, and then when they get back, we'll divvy up the spoils. I'm not sure of any large settlements on Amarun, but I know there's at least a small city to the northwest of there called Sunderstad, which, worst case, we can stop there on our way to our third port of call. I suppose fourth at that point, but whatever. Oh. Is there anything else from you lot, or?
I don't
No,
think
Cap.
so.
She looks over at the group of you. Well, see what can be done about Jack when we have a better idea. If the little one here is correct and Jack has meddled in something that she was not meant to, I'd rather not us all get caught up meddling as well. But at the same point, Jack's one of ours. Perhaps a modicum of caution is best advised at this point. At least until we can find more information.
I will dig out the scroll that was left behind and sort of scan over it. Well, they were nice enough to leave a note telling us not to go after her. And that if whatever they're wanting to talk to her about goes well, they'll bring her back.
And the captain looks over at you and gives what I can best describe as one of those "oh you darling child, you're stupid" type smiles to you. Like, you naive, stupid person, that's never how this goes. And looks down and just, be that as it may, it would still sit better with me if it was on our terms and not theirs. But in the meantime, we still have a job to do and money to make. So we should reach Amaroon by tomorrow midday. Take care of your normal tasks and we'll see what lies upon that small, desolate stretch of land. And with that, she sort of dismisses the group of you. Art walks out. You see Art's little head seems to be down a little bit, and just like, okay, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna read more. We have to find this out. And keeps trying to go through all of their books. Anything else the rest of you would be doing as you continue your journey? Okay.
I would start, when not helping in the kitchen, I would go above deck and just find a corner where people aren't super busy, so I don't want to be underfoot, and start trying to play my flute. I don't want to disturb Art downstairs too much reading, so that's why I'm doing it above decks.
Okay, go ahead and make a performance check for me.
Natural 1.
You managed to find a spot sort of near the front bow of the ship and just sort of plop down. There are a couple of people that are a little ways off, keeping their eye out, a couple of people watching the few ballistas that are on the deck. And as they're going about and you start trying to play, you've got your eyes open, you're watching, you're trying this, and every couple of minutes you watch it, they're like... They're not saying anything, but you can tell, every third or fourth note you hit this one high note, and it seems to be piercing people's eardrums.
And I'm aware. I'm not trying to pass it off as good. It's like, I just need to practice more. I used to be good at this.
And as the travel commences, as you guys eventually find yourselves sailing up towards the small island of Amaroon. That's where we'll call an end to tonight's session to find out what awaits you on the next shore. So before we go anywhere, unfortunately we had a couple of nat 20s that did not end up getting used today.
Yeah.
So before we go off, though, we have to decide who is going to get the nat 20 for next week.
It's always hard.
Or if you want, we can do what we did last week, where we had again, we were light on people. We can just have the one communal D20 out there that anyone can use.
I vote for that.
Yeah, since we already had 2 that we
Okay.
didn't use this session, like getting
Okay.
another one, I don't know.
So, and yeah, we're just doing this as a special one because we've only got the 3 people here. So it's good. It's a little hard to get a majority vote because, you know, Kepler likes it, Sarah like May like Kepler. It's like, oh great, one for everybody. So we will do that for next time. We will have the communal D20, and then we will be picking up hopefully next week. Hopefully with a full crew back. Paris, sorry you weren't feeling good. Looking forward to having you back though as soon as possible. And in the meantime, don't forget we have something going on every night. We have Tabletop Legends on Tuesdays, Waterdeep Wednesdays. What are they? They on Horde of the Dragon Queen, that 2-part one. I can't remember if it's the Horde of the Dragon Queen. I forgot the title of it, but that's Delvin Dash and Mystic Hour on Thursdays. Kindred Lists on Fridays. Fabled Whispers Saturdays, and Curse of Strahd on Sundays. So hopefully we'll be back up at our full schedule soon. Again, from all of us here at Proficiency Bonus to you, we hope you and yours are staying safe during this trying time. If you need something to do, you're looking for some entertainment, check out all of our streams. If you didn't catch it live, we're on Twitch VOD, we're on YouTube. You'll find something to help you out. Hope you and your family stay safe, and no matter what you do, don't forget to add your proficiency bonus, folks. We'll see you next time.